Yo guys, what's up? It is Ripe again, back with more juicy legal advice and as usual, without any major cliffhangers. Please don't forget that my second video today will be uploaded in 2 hours from now on, so be prepared for that, and without any further ado, let's dive right into the stories. And the first one is titled, Arizona, School is Trying to Deny Friend Her Service Dog. My friend was diagnosed with narcolepsy a long time ago and has a service dog to alert her when she's about to pass out. When she started a college program this summer, she submitted documentation of her disability from her doctor and everything was kosher. The dog is clearly trained as a service dog too. She is in a single place and silent during class, not disruptive by any means. However, a couple weeks into the program, the school requested an independent evaluation from a doctor of their choosing at her own expense. She spent $500 for an office visit due to a deductible from getting a new insurance, and then the doctor wanted an extra $300 cash to write a note. When she told the school this, the dean in the disability office said,
"Well, you have to respect the doctor's time."
Eventually, she forked over the money and the doctor wrote a note. She went into the disability office today, nearly 3 weeks after getting the note, to check on the progress, and the dean of the disability office said, without any attempt at communication with her prior to this, that the documentation she got was not sufficient. The doctor wrote that yes, she has narcolepsy and is a disabled student, but the doctor
does not feel comfortable differentiating between a service dog and an emotional support animal.
Oh, and they told her in the same meeting today that the disability committee is meeting tomorrow to decide whether or not she can have her service dog on campus. The dean in the disability office, as well as the dean of the school, who are 2 out of 4 of the members of the committee, both said that
it is unlikely she will be able to keep her service dog.
Isn't it illegal to make her go through this many hoops to have a service dog? My friend does not want to cause a bunch of noise and trouble, she just wants to be able to be aware when she is about to pass out on campus, which is where she is the majority of her time. And a user in the comments said, highly illegal if they accept federal student loans. She should look to see if there's a local disability advocacy group that can provide a lawyer to contact the school on her behalf. Her own doctor or the company that supplied the dog may be able to help with that. They definitely cannot demand a specific doctor though. I am assuming that this is a small school based on the size of the disability committee, but this is stupid and opens them up to all sorts of legal and regulatory trouble. And guys, I don't know if I maybe misunderstood the story, but I did not really see any good explanation by the school to deny her a service dog. When I was in school, there was a teacher who always brought a dog to class and basically everyone loved that dog and nobody was disturbed by it, and that was not even a service dog. Have you ever had a dog at your workplace or at school? Let us know in the comments. And the next one is an update to the service dog situation. A great yet anticlimactic update. The dean emailed my friend after the disability committee and said,
"At this time, no changes will be made to your disability accommodation."
So I guess the problem solved itself. We are happy that this can be a nice, quiet end to the ordeal. On another note, it turned out the doctor billed both her insurance and the school for the full amount. And the next one is titled, Rolled up to my apartment today to find that all my belongings had been thrown in the dumpster, California. When I got to my apartment today, there was a cleaning crew inside and all my belongings were gone. I immediately called my manager and asked him what was going on, and he told me that the lease had ended on August 28th and that since today was August 30th, they threw out all my stuff so that they could get ready for the new tenants. I was not aware that the lease ended on the 28th, info in background, and since I paid the full amount for the month of August and had not heard anything back about overpayment, if I didn't have access to the apartment for the whole month, it should be cheaper, right? I assumed everything was fine. He never informed me that today they would be clearing out the apartments and that they would be throwing away all my stuff. He did not give me any notice or time to remove my items. He has contacted me 0 times in the past few months. They threw away all my clothes, textbooks, books, documents like birth certificate, pictures, etc. What sort of rights do I have? Background: the manager I initially rented the apartment through was fired approximately 6 months ago for sexual harassment. The lease that we had initially signed contained many errors, including an incorrect amount that we were to pay per month. The company that owns the complex asked the manager to have us sign a new lease, but I honestly cannot remember if we ever did. When this manager was fired, we were given zero notice except for the fact that we could see that his apartment had been cleared, and we also had not been informed about who would be replacing him, nor were we given any contact information for anyone who we could reach about the apartment. After an incident where a water pipe burst after hours of flooding, we learned who our new manager was, but he chooses not to respond to messages. And a user in the comments said, "Had you not been served proper notice, you are the victim of an illegal eviction. Contact local police on the non-emergency line and look for a lawyer. Depending on the total value of your items lost, you may be able to sue in small claims court. Communicate only in emails with the manager now. If you have renter's insurance, contact them for further legal advice and guidance." And another person said, "As someone who works in renter/homeowners insurance claims, we never give out legal advice or guidance since we could not get involved at all in that situation. We really only care if the injured is being sued/demanded money off, since we have to review if there is coverage for a duty to defend or for the damages that they caused." And guys, I'm curious, have you ever been illegally evicted? Let us know in the comments. And by the way guys, in case you noticed that, I am really sorry for this annoying bird outside. It seems now that the raining season has started, I have a new bird friend outside, but I hope he goes away soon. And the next one is an update to the belongings being thrown away story. 8 months ago I posted about how I've been illegally evicted from my apartment and had all my belongings thrown away. Thanks to this subreddit, I called the police, filed a report, and then ultimately, due to lack of cooperation by the manager and property owner, filed a claim in small claims court. Tomorrow is finally my court date. Any last minute pieces of advice or suggestions that might help me be more successful in front of the judge tomorrow? I will update on how it went after the appearance. Update. So I finally got to appear in small claims court, however it did not go nearly as well as I had hoped. I knew the property management company was bad, but not this bad. When the time came to exchange evidence, they had a packet of pictures of an apartment that was not mine. This apartment did not have the same floors, floor plan or anything, and it was filthy. Like frat house after a crazy party, gross. They had pictures of the inside of a random toilet too, and all types of weird stuff. I told them that that definitely was not my apartment, and they got embarrassed and apologized. Anyways, I am the last case to be heard before lunch. There's about 6 minutes left, so the judge is in a hurry. The management company starts straight up lying. They say that they had posters posted all over the building stating that if the tenants did not have their property removed by the 28th, then they would dispose of it. I state that that is false and I asked if they had any proof. The judge states,
"His testimony is his proof."
All sassy. I have since confirmed with 5 other residents of the complex that there was no posting of any kind. Not that that will help me now though, my case was already heard and no appeals for the plaintiff. They frame me like an idiot.
"How did you not know that the lease ended on the 28th? Did you not talk to anyone? Did you not see the imaginary posters?"
Also apparently the lease states that I should have renter's insurance, which according to them means they should not cover me. I don't know. Also, they started trying to act like I am sketchy because I had some of my school books delivered to my friend's residential address, because packages always get stolen at our complex. I have seen it. So they were trying to say stuff like, not trying to get into her personal life, but she could have been living at multiple residences, who even knows the last time she had even been here, and all kinds of irrelevant F. To top it off, the judge did not have time to make a judgment, so he collected our evidence, and I am afraid that they may have secretly slipped those fake apartment pictures in there. I would not put it past them, they are so shady, I cannot even believe it. Long story short, I am probably remember only the negatives, but the whole experience was horrible and I felt cheated and re-victimized by a horrible, exploitative rental company who takes advantage of college students. And guys, I hope you don't mind that the endings today are sort of dark if you ask me, because that is sometimes how legal situations just turn out. It's not always a rosy ending. Still, I'm kind of surprised that apparently you are allowed to present fake evidence in court. Since when is that the case? I mean, in regards to the fake apartment pictures. Anyway, let's continue on with the stories. And if you have watched until here, please don't forget to post some star emojis in the comments and also like the video if you want to support me. And the next one is titled, "Would love any evidence on the theft and attempted destruction of my cat, New Zealand." Hi there, I recognize it is not likely I will find people well versed in New Zealand law, but I appreciate any input into the situation. It has been a rough couple of days. I work at a veterinary clinic and we had a client book in a wild cat to be euthanized. Or euthanized, please correct me if I was wrong there. Either way, she said it lived under her porch for years and now bothered her cat / sprayed in her home. She said she had had it for 2 nights at that point and had not fed it or given it water. We advised her to feed it and also to do a quick door knock of her immediate neighbors / post it on the popular local Facebook page to make sure it did not belong to anyone. She refused to do any of these things. She brought the cat in the next morning, reiterated it had been kept in the tiny travel cage that was wrapped in a garbage bag with 72 hours worth of urine and feces in there for 3 days, that she had not given it food / water, and that she had not and would not attempt to find an owner. And by the way, sorry guys, I apologize, this story might be upsetting to some people. Either way, she signed it over to be put to sleep. We advised her we would be checking for a microchip, notifying the SPCA and checking the SPCA databases and our databases of lost cats, as we are ethically and legally required to do. She flipped out. She said she did not want the cat to be returned to an owner if it had one. She said she brought it here on the understanding it would be euthanized. She asked to have the cat back because
I would have just dealt to it myself if I would have known you wouldn't just kill it.
Lo and behold, she is my neighbor and this is my cat I've been on the cusp of making a hissing cat post about. She is absolutely soaked in her own piss and damn, and visibly and audibly in distress. I have only lived on that street for not quite a year. My cat is a neutered female that does not spray, and there's no way this is the cat that has been living under her porch with abscesses for years. I am very grateful I just happened to work in the right place to get my cat back, and thank God for microchips. I've been in touch with the SPCA, who are interviewing me and my coworkers sometime today and have advised me to contact the police as soon as possible. I intend to call them once they are open today, but can anyone maybe clue me in on how this process will go? Is it likely she will face any punishment? I am nervous that this is something they are going to laugh at me about or that nothing can be done. Thank you very much for your time. And a user in the comments said, if you kept your head and did not immediately go off on her, you are a saint. The advice you got from the SPCA is the right advice. This is a police issue. What specifically will come of it is somewhat up in the air, but theft / conversion charges are possible and animal cruelty charges are likely. Let the cops do what they do. The worst that will happen is that they take a report and sit on it. Civilly, if your cat requires medical care as a result of your neighbor's actions, your neighbor is likely on the hook for at least some and quite possibly all of their costs. You can show that it is more likely than not, based on your testimony and the condition of the cat when she was turned over to you, that your neighbor deliberately harmed your pet and either caused the injuries or allowed them to progress and worsen, making treatment more expensive. A civil judgment is only as good as your ability to collect on it, and all it will likely do is reimburse you, but it is an option. And guys, I would definitely say that is sound advice, but either way, I am pretty shocked at this story, to be honest with you. How can someone hate animals this much? I just don't get it. And I really hope that none of you have a neighbor like this. And the next one is an update to the unfortunate cat story. So here we are a little over a week later. I am getting the last of my statements for the SPCA and they are nearly sorted. I had answered 2 belligerent phone calls from them at work and refused to answer 2 more. Since the phone call harassment was no longer working, they emailed my work and said if I did not answer, we would have personal issues going forward. How dare I contact the SPCA that their cat had an abscess they assume was from my cat and I need to pay for their $330 vet bill. Thanks. I emailed back with a pretty direct email that their actions constituted cruelty, I would not be answering any further phone calls especially at work, and that I would not be paying the vet bill. Friday morning I checked my email and the partner had sent me a rambling, abusive email. I abuse my dog, I am a damn vet tech, how dare I call the SPCA, of course it was my cat, he's taking me to small claims court because what other choices does he have? He said he knows he does not have much of a chance at winning, but it is about the principle. I replied that the SPCA is doing their due diligence, that my pets are well cared for and that they are not to contact me any further. I have since blocked both of their email addresses. I got to work Friday morning and discovered that they had lodged a formal complaint to my workplace and asked to have a sit-down meeting with my manager about what I consider to be a very serious situation for me and my family. One of my managers called and pretty much said that they have to look into it, but by all accounts it would appear everything I have done at work has been within policy. This job means everything to me and I'm pretty effing annoyed that they have taken a personal issue and forced it upon my workplace. I also spoke with 2 local cat charities who both knew of the feral cat colonies in the vacant property literally directly behind their house and in the house to the left of them that is full of discarded vehicles. One of them had spent months and months before I moved there and early on trying to catch a large black tomcat with abscesses all around its neck, but had never managed to get him. They advised them within hours of having caught my cat by mistake that they either needed to take care of it or take it to the vet as soon as possible. As did the council who I spoke to on Friday. They found these people extremely difficult also. I have attained statements from both of them outlining this, so that is a comforting addition. I am doing my best not to be as vindictive and malicious as they are. I happen to know their house is unpermitted and has numerous code violations, and by God, my council calling finger is itchy, but I am not going to be as effety, or whatever that means, as they are. I have alerted my friends at the local newspaper to keep an ear out for me, because I don't doubt that when this complaint and small claims court fails them, they will probably double down on the crazy. I am also preparing myself internally for them to complain to the SPCA about me, because that seems inevitable. All in all, this has been an extraordinarily exhausting 2 weeks. I am hopeful I can make an update shortly that outlines this entire thing being over. Next one is the final update to the cat story. So last we left off, they were complaining to my workplace, sending me emails twice daily, warning me of an upcoming small claims court complaint for their cat abscess I refused to pay for, and calling my workplace every once in a while. My practice manager did not remotely entertain a sit-down meeting as they requested. I don't think the manager has heard much back, and if she has, then I have not heard about it, which is probably for the best. I advised them not to contact me further after they told me to expect a summons from the small claims court, and also that I am a damn pet owner and a damn vet nurse and that I am stressing them out and I need to pay their vet bill, and blocked both their email. My junk folder went up by 2 emails a day for a while, so I assume they carried on for a bit, but I did not even look at them and let them purge themselves after a week. About 3 weeks ago, the SPCA officer popped into work on an unrelated issue and took me aside to inform me that between him and his manager, they had decided to offer this couple a formal warning. He knew I had been a bit salty about this eventuality, so told me that it was a formal warning and would be on their record forever, and that she had to sign, accept and acknowledge 3 breaches of the Animal Welfare Act relating to shelter, food, water and freedom, so it was not just a slap on the wrist. As it turns out, he had also had a lot of emails from both of these people to the point that he had to sternly and formally request that they stop. They had also threatened to lay a formal complaint about him. He expressed that he thought they may well be too proud to accept the warning, and in that case they would absolutely be pursuing prosecution. About a week after that, I received a phone call from the inspector asking to clarify some details on the statements from co-workers I had sent. Later on I asked him if they had not accepted the warning, as I was not sure why else he would be getting the ducks in a row for the statements. I was a tiny bit hopeful it might end in prosecution, but I really did not want the SPCA to have to faff about with these twats any more than they had to. He advised that the couple were still considering the warning and had requested all the statements to be sent through to them to see what evidence was against them. This made me feel a bit uncomfortable, but he said everything identifiable had been removed and that details were retracted. I am pretty sure they would still be able to figure it out based on what roads we all took in the situation, but it is what it is. The inspector called again today and advised me that the woman had signed and accepted the warning for the 3 breaches. While it is not necessarily the outcome I hope for in my heart and soul, they have still seen consequences and this will still be attached to their name forever, and I have not heard a peep from them for nearly 7 weeks, including not a
"But it's the principal"
small claims complaint, which I had already gotten a pile of statements and paperwork ready for, dang it, so I cannot really complain. Thanks for providing an outlet on this ride. I am hopeful I can just go back to pretending they don't exist, but with an added tinge of F your entire existence. And guys, unfortunately we have already reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories, and if you haven't already, please also go to patreon.com/ripeyoutube, where I upload exclusive Reddit videos starting at just $3 a month. This is a great way to support me in case you are interested, and the chance for me to become independent from YouTube revenue. Thank you so much for watching, please don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and I hope to see you again tomorrow.